We are recording here for Monday's 10-game main slate. James, this is our first look at this 10-gamer here. We're coming off of a nice little weekend. Hopefully some of the bad weather is behind us. Got a couple of days here, games here on this slate that do give us a little rain symbol, but after the weekend here, especially in the Northeast where it's been wet, hopefully some better weather for our DFS fortunes this week.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully some better weather going on. Happy Monday, John, of course. And interesting slate, 10 games. We have Great American on the ballpark. We have no implied total in Wrigley. What does that mean? That could mean wind that we're not, privy to, obviously, until likely the morning. We have 9.5 as our highest couple implied total. So interesting slate. The return of Grayson Rodriguez to the majors, the call-up of Quinn Priester for the Pirates, one of their top pitching prospects in their system. So it's going to be an interesting kickoff to our to the work week here.
Yeah.
Bart Scott can't wait, John.
Can't wait. Before we break it all down, again, shout out to our sponsor here, Real Time Fantasy Sports. New users can get a 100% deposit match up to $200 when they use promo code ALARM23. James, why don't you tell the people more about what they can find over at RT Sports?
Yeah, you can find a Pick'em promo, a Pick'em contest at Real Time Sports, their daily Pick'em contest. All you have to do is set a lineup of player props, and if you hit them all, you win. Baseball, basketball, golf, football, every sport, they have it. And as you mentioned, John, first-time depositors get a 100 instant match up to $200 using code ALARM23, and all you have to do is visit rtsports.com/alarm. That's rtsports.com/alarm, and first-time depositors get a 100% instant match up to $200 with deposit code ALARM23. Please play responsibly. For help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Yep. Grande and I will be doing some real-time fantasy sports pick'em plays at the 5 o'clock live stream, so make sure you tune in to the show later on today. We'll give you our favorite player props to build some of your real-time cards around. James, that said, time to dump it into the DraftKings main slate here. Again, 10 games on the board. Looking at pitching here, talk to me. We have Shane McClanahan coming off the IL to go against Texas. We have Logan Webb on the road against Cincinnati. We have Jesus Luzardo going up against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Logan Gilbert at home against Minnesota. Sonny Gray on the road against Seattle, your 9K and above tier.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time looking away from Luzardo right now, who is pitching. This has been the best stretch of his career by far. And this is the pitcher everyone thought he would be. And it's been, I think the first half of the year was a little inconsistent, where it looked like he'd string a couple good starts together and then he would give up 6 earned runs. And then he would put a great start behind that, and then it would be 5 earned runs, and then a great start, and then 6 earned runs. Literally looking at his box score, you could just see it's the last 5 starts have not been the case. 4 earned runs total in his last 5 starts, all quality outings, 3 of which were shutouts, 1 including 6 scoreless against these Cardinals. The strikeouts have been tremendous, John. 9, 8, 9, and 9 his last 4 outings. He's not walking people. He's not giving up power. Just 2 home runs in his last 5 starts. He has been everything that we had hoped he'd be. And even in his last start against Philly, where he obviously ran into trouble, he got pulled 83 pitches. We've seen him constantly in the high 90s. So, we don't really even have to worry about pitch count here. He's been amazing. The Cardinals, we know, are going to start unloading people, whether it's their top tier guys, whether it's the fringe players that can help rotations like Flaherty and Mikolas and guys like that, remains to be seen. But this Cardinals team is obviously, in shambles. And for a team that has historically been good against lefties, they are still okay, but they're top 10 in strikeout rate, 23.9%. And if they're striking out at that high of a clip against Luzardo, it's an issue for them. And then Logan Gilbert would be my other guy up here at the top tier. Minnesota, as much as we joke about how much we like them, and we do like them as a team, and they're not great. They have a lot of deficiencies, and Logan Gilbert coming off a fantastic start in his own right, 7 innings,
threw a shutout against San Francisco 2 starts ago.
So. And then throws back-to-back starts, and really 3 of his last 4 have been great. And the one start against Washington, is a surprise, surprise. Washington giving people a fits,
Right.
but 26 plus fantasy points in 3 of his last 4 starts. And sometimes the strikeouts haven't been there for Logan Gilbert, but Minnesota is a team that strikes out a lot. They are currently first in baseball against right-handed pitching, 27.1%. That's 1.3% higher than anybody else in the league. Like, they just strike out a boatload. So if Gilbert can navigate the power that sometimes comes from Minnesota's lineup, it should be smooth sailing to another big outing. So up at the top, I'm kind of avoiding McClanahan. I'm avoiding Webb in Great American, and I'm going right to Luzardo and Logan.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think obviously the opposite side of that game, you do have Sonny Gray here. Weird game against Baltimore. You look at 6 innings, 6 earned. It all came in 1 inning. He threw 5 shutout innings and had 1 inning of 6 earned runs. So, take that for however you want to read into it. Obviously, he shut out Baltimore to the start before that. He faced Atlanta, 6 2/3, 3 earned runs in that game. Sonny Gray has certainly been up and down at times this year. But again, he's been overall a pretty good pitcher on the season for Minnesota. If you're looking to pivot down off of that game here, we know Seattle's offense has certainly had its troubles this year scoring runs, and they've had a high strikeout rate as well. So could be a spot there for Sonny Gray. Once we get down to the mid-tier, there isn't really a ton that sort of jumps out to me specifically. Grayson Rodriguez getting recalled, but I don't want to go up against the Dodgers. Griffin Canning, we've pitched him in spots. The Yankees lineup obviously has its troubles. I don't know if Griffin Canning is the guy that you're looking to go to. We just saw the Cubs beat up on James Paxton, and Mackenzie Gore has had his issues. We know what Washington can do against lefties. Pivetta against Oakland at $7,300 is appealing, but Pivetta's been terrible this year too. So I don't really love the mid tier. It feels like there's a lot of landmines here.
Yeah, there is a lot of landmines. I'm taking shots on some guys. Like Mackenzie Gore, I think is okay. The Cubs strike out a lot. The problem is he struggles against lefties, and Cody Bellinger is one of the hottest hitters in baseball right now. So, he struggles against lefties, and Bellinger crushes lefties. So that's a little concerning. I'd be okay taking a shot at Mackenzie Gore. He does, have some upside. We just saw a couple starts ago against San Diego, 9 strikeouts across 5 innings, 27 fantasy points. So Mackenzie Gore is fine. Pivetta had been pitching terrible, John. It hasn't necessarily been the case lately, as he's kind of gone back into that more traditional pitching deep into game, at least getting the pitch count up there.
Yeah, he came out of the bullpen in that game too against Oakland. So there was the opener game for them.
Yeah,
he was the long reliever, and like you said, 5 innings, 76 pitches. So he's just obviously as a starter he was not good. He's been very good as the piggyback guy since moving into that role,
which could be again the case. And if that's the case, I don't really have an issue getting there because look at the last 3 outings for him. Honestly, look at the last 4 outings that he's spanned at least 3 innings. Yeah. If he's given us almost 16 fantasy points in all 4 of those games. And now we've seen 62, 67, 76 pitches. So working up to a full workload. I know Oakland is obviously they look different. Gelof led off on Sunday after the double stolen base game on Friday or Saturday night. Their lineup looks different, right? With Soderstrom and with Gelof. So, they're going to be better, but they're still not they're still a historically bad team. Like they're still going to lose the most games of all time. So I'd be okay getting to Pivetta. The other name I'd mention really is Quinn Priester. Again, he is their top pitching prospect or regarded as one of their top pitching prospects in their system. And he wasn't great in AAA this year, but he's a tall dude, throws, a lot of pitches, has a good amount of strikeout stuff throughout his AAA or throughout his minor league career. So as much as we've picked on Cleveland this year and said that they haven't been good, Jose Ramirez is kind of struggling again. And the only one that's truthfully really hitting are the Nailers in general. I'll just put them in in a box because Josh Naylor has been really good, but like Jimenez has been struggling.
I just wish he was cheaper, right? This should have been a 4K spot, right? Like
it should have been,
but he said he's 7K.
He's only but like he's only 7K. It's not like find someone after him. Matt Manning?
I was saying Matt Manning.
You know what? It's probably Matt Manning. He was in that part combined.
Part of the no-hitter game against Toronto.
He's pretty good. He's a pretty good pitcher. Like, there's not a lot of like strikeout upside, but also like he's been fine. 4+ strikeouts.
Dave Dunning's been still really good. I know it's Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay's kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Dunning had that.
How often do you see a guy with 2.8 ERA that's $6,300? I mean, they just never price this guy up. They just keep him under 7K. He doesn't strike out a lot of guys, obviously, unless you're Detroit and he had that random pop game. But I don't know. Texas is probably going to win this game, right?
I think that was my point too. Like to what you said, I was gonna say too. Like, there's definitely something to be said with a random 10 strikeout game. Not that he can't strike people out, because he has in the past, but like he has 59 strikeouts in 92 innings, right? Like he's just not that guy anymore. So I'm okay with it. Like I'd probably just play Matt Manning at that point.
Okay. Let's go on then over to our hitters here. Talk to me about your favorite top hitters for the infield.
I mean, pretty hard to pick against Rafael Devers right now. Guy's been kind of unconscious. Homered again on Sunday. He double donged on Friday. He has a whole bunch of. I think he's like y'all must have forgot type of beat right now, because he was hitting like 248. Now he's up to 259 after last 10 game stretch hitting 342. He gets Paul Blackburn. Blackburn's struggling. He got lit up by the Red Sox in that relief appearance he made before the All-Star break. I mentioned Grayson Rodriguez getting the call back up for the Orioles. Well, welcome back, Grayson. You get the Dodgers. And that's not the best, bring back to the major leagues. And Freddie Freeman, I think 62. Grayson Rodriguez, I was looking at the numbers before, and before he was sent down, lefties hitting 329 against them, 1100 OPS, 466 WOBA. So jamming Dodgers in righties are doing just fine as well. Like 840 OPS, 360
Get Freeman,
WOBA.
Muncy, that whole in there.
Yeah, like Dodgers will be very, very popular on this slate. So like I'm not saying you can't spend up on Mookie or you can't spend up on anybody who's expensive in this lineup, but like Freddie Freeman for me stands out in the infield. So infield Freeman and Devers for me in the infield here.
Yeah, I like that call a lot. I like Gunnar here against Sheehan. I think that's fine at 47. I think Baltimore could be a little bit of a contrarian play on this slate, getting some guys back in that lineup. So obviously kind of been a fan of theirs. Bobby Witt homered again today. I know generally better against lefties, but has a speed profile. We know he has power there as well. And then, you mentioned Devers, but Justin Turner keeps hitting too. He's $4,300. And if you wanted to save some money, Tristan Casas is homered in 3 straight games coming out of the break. He's starting to heat up for some value. So the Red Sox probably going to be pretty popular, I think, coming out of the weekend they had in Chicago. They hung, I think it was 11 runs on Sunday. They had double-digit runs, I think it was on a Friday. Didn't do anything on Saturday, but, that often showed up here.
Yeah, they should be popular, too, because they're still all too cheap, truthfully. Like, Casas is too cheap, you mentioned. We're going to get to Duran. He's still Duran's still too cheap. Turner... I don't know if you just heard that.
I heard the thunder. Yeah,
that was for Justin. That was for Justin Turner, I think.
We had tornado warnings in Massachusetts this morning. So
that's solid.
Storms everywhere.
That's great. 405 for Justin Turner over his last 10 games. He's just 4,300. So yeah, I like the Red Sox. And if we're talking value, since you brought up Casas, Wilmer Flores, another first baseman, I think you can get to.
Yan Gomes is $3,300 against a lefty.
Yan Gomes gets a lefty. Wilmer Flores. Zach Nato, John picked up where he kind of left off. Homered in his second game back on Saturday.
And now he gets Sevy.
and now he gets Sevy, who just can't pitch anymore. He's just totally lost, and Nato's been leading off too. Like he's hitting at the top of the order for them. So yeah, I mean, I think there's some very interesting infield value. I put Joey Meneses in our doc as well. I know you talked about it.
I think Nats are interesting here. What happened with Jeimer? Did he is he out?
He is
day to day,
I believe.
Scratched from Sunday's lineup. So
yeah, so he was in scratched. So I mean that
we'll see.
It's a bruise on the thumb. So like, could he definitely return? Like, could see him playing if it's just a bruise.
Yeah, and Vargas ended up playing in his place, and we like Vargas for his lefties too. Yep. So, yeah, definitely good call on Meneses, and we'll talk Washington for the outfield. Why don't we move on over to the outfield here, James? Talk about some of your top outfielders for the day.
Yeah, as my computer freezes, and I don't know if this has to do with.
I would imagine your internet's probably having not a fun time with the.
Why? Is there something? What's going on in the background? So in the outfield, again, targeting Sevy here.
I said front row seat to the Ohtani show.
Yeah, I mean, future Yankee Shohei Ohtani. Still just every other game seemingly hitting a home run. I'm surprised when I don't get an update that Shohei Ohtani hit a home run at this point. 33 on the year. 6,600 is Acuna territory now, but still worth it. So definitely getting there. I've always said the same thing about Giancarlo Stanton. It's when he gets hot, I'm willing to play him because
was he hot or was he in Coors?
Well, he had the double dong the 2 games prior to Coors, and then homer twice in Coors, and he's been like a little better in July overall. If you just go through the box scores, like he has, like just in general. Like end of June into July, like he has been better. Griffin Canning not coming off his best start. I can definitely get there. Obviously, the Boston guys sitting in this price tier, like Yoshida
$4,400.
Like why they priced them down and then like just never adjusted it. Like it was just always like why are the Red Sox?
He's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball for like over a month. He has a 6 RBI. Now I get it. This slate came out before today happened, so they couldn't change. But he shouldn't have ever been 42 and 44 in the first place.
No, never.
So, big on Masataki here. You mentioned Duran, super value as well. Bellinger's homering off everybody.
Yeah.
Had 2 off Bayo, hit 1 off of Paxton there as well. So, like, certainly can find getting Bellinger in your lineup in the mid-tier range.
He also, John, he has a 347 average and a 480 WOBA against lefties this year.
Yeah, he's hitting duties. He is the MVP again. The year of the comeback, right? Like, Cody Bellinger looking like the MVP player he was 5 years ago. Christian Yelich looking like
again on Sunday.
Yeah, like what are these guys who we all thought were left for dead? I don't know, man. They're all breaking back out. Maybe they. I honestly have no idea. I have no reasoning for any of what's happening with some of these guys. I'm happy for them. I'm happy they didn't wash out of baseball. Right? Cody Bellinger's a fun, young, exciting player.
Yep.
So I hope he continues the mash. Duran's 39, a little bit more expensive than he's been, but not by much. So certainly can run there for some value here. Moniak at 3,800 against Sevy. Jack Swincy, as we know, power $3,800 was leading off for them for a little bit. He's down here. Any other guys under 4K for you?
Yeah, Kerry Carpenter for Detroit. He double donged the other day, and he homered the game before, and then Sunday 2 hits. Like, been really good for them. And he's hitting over 300 his last 10 games, and now he gets Jordan Lyles.
Yeah.
And what does Jordan Lyles do? He serves up home runs. Like,
I stacked Carpenter and Green together the other day. The problem is Green's like over 5K, so it's it's like
47 on this slate. So we're starting to get a little bit of a price reprieve there.
I like that because I don't like stacking Tigers generally.
No,
and Riley Green is probably worth the price tag, but like it's still not a great feeling.
And the rest of you can't really stack Tigers. Like, you can just stack that.
You play McKinstry, maybe, get another lefty in their lineup, but like that's it. Akil Baddoo.
Akil Baddoo's hitting like I think he has a goose egg for his last month.
It's not great.
But Carpenter and if play either play like one or both of Green or Carpenter. Don't play anything else.
Don't play anybody else. Yeah.
And then the Dodgers lefty value, I think, against Grayson Rodriguez. I mean, you have Outman, who's starting to hit again. 2 home runs and 850 OPS his last 10 games. You have David Peralta, who continues to hit 290 over his last 10. We don't know if Jason Hayward's going to play or not, but he left Sunday's game due to neck soreness, but he's kind of been slumping. But I'd be willing to get to either of the Dodgers.
Sure. Lane Thomas is $4,800, gets the lefty, and then Stone Garrett is $2,900. 2 guys you can find yourself for the Nats there. Again, always liking the Nats as a little contrarian stack on these days here. Lefties or righties, they just kind of find their way into doing some damage here. Let's see. Any other value outfielders for you?
Value
is down to 2,700. Huh? He's had such a bad year.
He has had a bad year. I mean,
started off really good and he just dipped.
Yeah. So like Luis Matos is fine. He's been much better for the Giants lately. He gets Williamson. Williamson struggled against righties. Jesus Sanchez.
What did we talk about Henry Davis the other day?
Yep.
Hey, don't be worried about 236 as a sample size thing. 2 hits in 3 straight days, homer, solo base, up to 280 again.
You were a few days early, but you said to a T, you said 280. That was like literally word for word what you said on the podcast, on our last live stream or podcast. 3 straight days with multi-hits, and he's exactly at 280.
Yeah. No, he's a good player. Don't be worried about sample sizes, man. Just like
he's hitting third. They're hitting him third. Yeah. Drew Waters would be the last guy I'd mentioned. $2,300. He homered on Sunday, stole a base on Friday. He was one of the top prospects for the Royals. Has a lot of power. So he's 2,300.
He's got 4 stolen bases on the year too. He's got a little
slowly coming around. So I could see myself getting there.
Okay. I'm just scanning quickly to see if there's any other names down here. Nothing too much. So why don't we go in? Give me your early prediction home run call.
I'll go Rafael Devers off Paul Blackburn.
I'll go the cheap route here. I'll take Ohtani, $6,600. Give me your top stack.
I'm gonna go with the Red Sox.
You're stealing all my things.
You should have filled out the sheet before me.
You should have
filled out before me.
Should have done the work. Give me the Dodgers.
If you fill it out before me, you couldn't. I mean, but like one per.
Give me your value. Give me your value stack.
I'm gonna go Angels.
Okay, I'm going Washington.
Yeah, I like that.
Washington. Give me your value play of the day.
Zach Nato.
Okay. I'm gonna go Jared Duran. 3,900 still value. Count it. What do we know? Star of the
night. Yeah, I'm gonna go Luzardo. Star of the night. Yeah.
I like that. Give me star of the day. I'll go back with Ohtani. We'll go Ohtani. Ohtani's gonna have a day. Have a day against the Yankees.
That's a safe.
No offense to you being a Yankees fan, but that's where I'm at.
Literally just said the Angels are my contrarian stack.
True,
like, I'm with you. I'm there.
All right, let's build our lineup for the folks. Again, first look podcast live stream here. 10 games on a Monday. Where are we starting it off? Luzardo, I imagine.
So I have been building as we've gone.
Sure.
And I did Luzardo Gilbert. And I didn't do much.
Okay. I thought maybe you're going Pivetta there, but
I didn't do much else. We can go Pivetta. We can try it out. We have a little bit of time. I haven't filled it out. I just went with some value. I went Yan Gomes at catcher because obviously he gets a lefty. I went Nato at shortstop at 2,800, and I went Jaron Duran 39, and it gave us $4,000 for the rest of our positions. Which I felt
you like the Red Sox as your stack, so let's go
Casas. Yeah, for sure.
And Devers, right?
Well, yeah, and we'll see if we can fit Ohtani into this. We probably cannot.
2,900 for a second baseman and a shortstop.
Actually, we can probably make this.
Stone Garrett, we need a 3K.
Gallup against Pivetta. Zach Gallup.
Yeah. Where is he? Where is he at?
2,700 second baseman.
Look at that. You didn't think we could do it. This is what dreams.
I wasn't sure.
What dreams are made of.
This is what dreams are made of, honestly.
Yeah. So we got Luzardo, Gilbert, Yan Gomes, Cassis, Geloff, Devers, Nato, Duran, Ohtani, and Stone Garrett. Let's see, is there a $3,100 outfielder?
I was just looking the same thing. I kind of just like Stone Garrett against a lefty, but
yeah, I mean, so do I. And down here, there's not much else that we would probably go to anyways.
The only thing that could change our mind is when we see weather potential, because they are not releasing the odds in this Cubs Washington
game.
Actually, let's see. Maybe we do have something here, John. It opened at 8, so it doesn't look like anything of significance there.
If we wanted to go down to Pivetta, say pivot off of Pivetta here, pivot to Pivetta here. Let's see, that gives us $2,800. I mean, we could just go full.
Just go from Stone Garrett.
We would give you Cassis, Devers, Duran, Yoshida.
Then you move off Geloff to $3,900 second baseman.
Honestly, it's probably just keeping Geloff here. What's the catcher?
45. You would get to Patrick Bailey at 38.
So is there anybody that you would even really care to get to here?
No.
Go back.
Yeah, let's go back. Go back to
Griffin? Did you pitch Griffin Canning here?
Nah, he's coming off a couple bad starts.
Well, yeah, really. Well, I mean, he had 17 fantasy points somehow, and they started giving him 5 runs.
Yeah, he had the nine strikeouts. I mean,
he hasn't been bad, dude. Look at these.
Nah, he's been fine. If you want to go to Griffin Canning, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, and you don't need to spend the money all the time, guys. We talk about this. You can leave money on the table, but that was a lot of money to leave on the table. So.
No, I know. Well, I think I liked our first iteration a little better.
Okay, that's fine.
But I'm not also sitting here saying I don't like this one. I just don't love Griffin Canning. I mean,
Ohtani is the one that's kind of handcuffing us a little bit.
Yeah,
but just a little bit. All right, we'll go back down to Stone Garrett here. Luzardo, Gilbert, Gomes, Cassis, Geloff, Devers, Nato, Duran, Ohtani, Garrett. Our lineup as of right now. Again, we'll be back live at 5:00 Eastern PM time here. Get all the updated lineups, news, weather reports, you name it. We'll have it. James and I will be back later on. We'll talk to you then.